So well done for joining this series. It's the third one of our leadership mastery series. And this session is for leaders. This session is for individuals who want to develop. This session is for people who want to grow, not just in business, but also in life. That's why we call it NeX. And if you think about it, a lot of people in life, they focus on things that's not that important, and they say major and minor. A lot of people major in the minor things and minor in the major things. And becoming a leader, mastering leadership, personal development, very, very important for your life and for success in general. Our life is very short, and to live the best life, it's always the best thing to do is to become a leader. Now, the book that we are basing this series on is what I call the complete book of leadership. And that's by John Maxwell, the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Now, the first law is the law of the lid, which we covered in the first session, where we talk about the level of your success in life is directly proportional to the level of your lid. So that session is now available. Then we talked about the last time the law of influence, where what are the factors that determine your influence as a leader in world, and the 8 factors we discussed and we talked about. And today we're going to go into the third level, or the third law of the laws of leadership. And that one is called the law of process. In other words, I call process in our language as the law of systems. You see, everybody will not have all the 21 attributes of leadership, but if you can learn it, if you can master it, you can grow into having these laws into your life. So before we go into leadership, I always want to remind that this is not just leadership for success in business. These sessions are geared to give you the laws of leadership for success in life. Now, before I go into that, you need to know what is the formula of success. How do you define what success is? Some people think having a lot of money in the bank is success. The answer is no. Some people think if you've made a lot of achievements in life, that is success. The answer is no. I believe the formula of success is a balanced life. Okay? The key word is balance. Now, balanced life of what? 3 things: of health, wealth, and wisdom. Real success is a man or a woman who has a balanced life of health, wealth, and wisdom. And if you find somebody like that, they live or they lead a successful life. Now, understanding this success as the base formula, let's go into the third law called the law of process, or what I call the law of systems. Because any successful person in the world, if you look at it, forget person, any successful thing in the world, if you look into it, it has something that is a process behind it. And the law of process, I deduce it into 3 factors. 3. Number 1, you need to identify that there's a simple system of success. Very key thing for you to understand. There is no shortcut to success. There is no overnight success. It's impossible. And also some people say, if you win the lottery and become a millionaire, you're successful. In fact, the answer is wrong, because more than 80% of lottery millionaires become broke after 5 years. Why? Because they don't have a system to success. So understand, there is no shortcut to success. There's only a system of success. So if you think about it, anything successful in the world, behind it, look behind what it is, you will see a system of success. One of the greatest inventions of the world is the car, a vehicle. Before, people used to walk, then they used to use animals for transporting, and then we have a situation where somebody invented the car. And when the car was invented, if you look at a car, what is a car? It is a system of successful elements that makes the car run. So a car is a whole body that has a system inside, a steering system, an electric system, a braking system, an exhaust system. So anything in the world you look, if you see one thing that is common, is that everything that is successful has a system behind it. Let me just quickly check something quickly, 1 second. Okay. So what you need to do is understand that the first thing, that if you want to be successful, let's say in health, you need to find a system of success in health. Let's say you want to be successful as parents for your children. You need to identify, and a key word there, simple system of success, not complicated. It has to be simple. So you need to identify somebody who is a good parent, a good father, a good mother, who's bringing good children, and identify that simple system of success. If you want to have success, let's say playing a sport, let's say you want to play tennis, you need to identify a simple system of a successful tennis player. How do you identify it? Go and meet that person, or research about that person, investigate about that person, and find out that person's system of success. If you look at this picture here, 1994, the man is called Jeffrey Preston. This man started Amazon in his garage. Can you imagine? 1994. This man today is the second richest man in the world. But when he started Amazon, the key to his success, remember, it started in his garage, but the key to his success is he had a system for Amazon.com. And he was a failure for 1 year, he was a failure for 2 years, was a failure for 3 years, a failure for 4 years, but he kept going on consistently attacking that system. And 9 years later is when he got his breakthrough. So if you want success in health, identify a simple system of success for your health, to get healthier, to get fitter, to get stronger. If you want to get a success in wisdom, identify a simple system of success in wisdom. And if you want to be successful in business, per se NeX, identify the simple success system in NeX. And for me, it's very simple. The success system of NeX is creating ETT factories. Find people, put them through the NeX system, and convert them into ETTs so that they succeed, you succeed. And if you get really good at this, and if you get your team to get really good at this, you now have identified a simple system of success. So in the law of process, the first thing is this: identify the system. Find this right system. A lot of people in today's world have the wrong system. They want to be successful in life, in wealth, in money, but they are going a system that's going to end up being broke. They want to be healthy and fit, but they're eating foods and drinks that is not a successful system. They want to grow in life, but they don't even read a book. They've not identified a system. So if you choose the wrong system, you won't achieve success. But if you choose the right system, that's your first step towards the law of process. The second step is you need to create a habit to painfully follow the system. So the first thing is you've identified the system. The second step is to create a habit to painfully follow the system. I added the word painfully because if it's not painful, it's very unlikely that you're going to achieve success, because there is no easy way to success. There is no shortcut to success. There is no magic pill or magic formula that you can just take one day and become successful. You need to create a habit to follow the system, and that habit is painful. Now, research has said, how long does it take to create a habit? So how long will it take for you to create a habit? The answer, they have said, is 21 days to 66 days. It's between those 2 days, 21 to 66. So if you can create a habit to follow the system, that's the second step of the law of process. It was Benjamin Franklin, an amazing author and philosopher, who said this statement: show me your habits and I will predict your future. You see, your success is hidden in your daily habits. And in our industry, we don't say business habits, we call it DMO, daily method of operation. That is a simple, proven plan of action for massive duplication. So the reality of the fact is this: what are your habits? Can you tell me what you do on a daily basis? And I can predict your future. I can predict if it's going to be successful or unsuccessful. Habits are so powerful. And a book that really transformed my life, that explains this concept of habit in detail, is called The Compound Effect, written by Mr. Darren Hardy. An amazing book that you all must read if you want to understand the power of habits, the power of compounding. It was Albert Einstein who said, compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. And this book is all about you becoming consistent in your habits. This book talks about that to achieve success, doing your habits every day is monotonous, it's painful, it's not easy. But the compounding effect is amazing. So the key to your success is consistency. So what's the power of consistent habits? Some examples. One, imagine all that you did is read 10 pages a day. 10 pages of a good book a day. A lot of people today have forgotten how to read. It's amazing because I do a lot of coaching to youngsters in table tennis. I have conversations, and many of them don't even have the habit of reading the wealth of the books of the thousands of successful people in the world. And I give this example. You don't have to read 100 books. If you just read 10 pages of a book a day, that is one book a month. You can finish 12 books in 1 year. Imagine you just saved $8 a day, or €8 a day, or £8 a day. Not a lot. Just save it. That's £3,000 or dollars a year. Imagine you just exercise not 2 hours or 3 hours, 30 minutes a day. That's 182 hours of fitness you're putting into your body in a year. Imagine you walk 10,000 steps a day. Now I have an Apple Watch, and every day I measure the amount of steps that I do in a day. Every single day my goal is 10,000 steps. Guess what? That is equivalent to 70 marathons a year. Sometimes when I say people ran a marathon, the London Marathon, the Paris Marathon, I was like, wow, I can't do it. You don't need to. Can you walk 10,000 steps a day? See, these little small habits compound over time. You won't be able to see it, but the results are great. You know, when I saw ice for the very first time, ice, if you actually put water in an environment that is icy, the water will start to get frozen. It starts at 32 degrees, then 31, then 30, then 29, then 28, goes all the way up to 0 degrees, and it starts to freeze. You can't see that process, but the compounding effect is happening. And that's the beauty about consistent habits. The results are slow and not visible to the naked eye, but it's happening and is very, very powerful. And you take any successful human being in the world, in any world, any phase, any system, you will see their habit. So one of the things that I do is, if I meet somebody successful, not just in business, in any area of life, if I meet a successful parent who's really good at parenting, or somebody who's good in business, or somebody who is really good at doing what they do, and I want to learn it, I take them out for a meal. I buy them lunch or buy them coffee, or I buy them dinner. And in the conversation, all I do is I ask questions. And my questions will very simply start with, the first question is, what is your DMO? Daily method of operation. And when they tell me their DMO, when they tell me their system, the secret to their success is inside that habit. Now, I want to talk about a gentleman by the name of Virat Kohli. If you look at the man who's been followed on social media and the most followers in the world, number one, Cristiano Ronaldo. You all know he plays football. When somebody asked him, will your son be as great as you? Ronaldo said, no, not if he practices and has the same discipline of habit like me. Second, Lionel Messi, the most followed in the world. If you look at his DMO, habits and system, amazing. This man you see on the screen is the third most followed man on social media. He's a cricket player from India, Virat Kohli. He is known as the greatest of all time in cricket. Broke every single record. But this is a recent interview. When somebody was interviewing him, even at his age, when he's getting to the peak of his career, so he's achieved everything, but they're talking to him about his success secret. And this is his interview. Check it out.
Same practice means I was there 5:45 every morning. I'd probably sit there, wait for the fog to clear out, and then start knocking balls before everyone arrived. That just became a norm for me. Even now, when I have the opportunity to go into the gym early or come to practice early, I would take it with both hands, and it's just become a habit for me now. And also, I think the more busy you get, especially when you have to do commercials and stuff, I like to reach on time and I like to leave on time.
Sometimes you feel 24 hours is not enough.
You can't experience what someone is going through. On outside, from people's point of view, yes, they can look at my life and say, oh, he's got everything. But at the end of the day, what you really need is to be happy. 6 a.m.
So that's very powerful. This is somebody who's achieved almost every record in the sport. But even now, he gets to the actual ground. The time is 6 o'clock, but he gets there at 5:45. If you look at his food habits, he never eats unhealthy. And one thing you will notice about successful people, they say, it's become a habit for me. It's become a habit for me to read the books. It's become a habit for me to follow the system. It's become a habit for me to choose the right choices. It becomes a habit. So if you can make successful habits in your life with the right simple system, you're on your way to success. So in the law of process, the first step is identify a simple system of success. Number two, follow the habit or make a habit of following that system, and it's going to be painful. Third, you need to develop faith and patience. Faith is about the belief that you're going to do it. And patience is about believing that my time is coming. I say faith, Faith, full assurance in the heart. Full assurance in the heart that I'm following the right system, I'm following the right habits, I'm going to achieve the success. And patience is knowing that my time is coming. It will come. It must come. It has to come. I strongly recommend to you to watch one of the greatest movies in my life, and that is called The Pursuit of Happiness. A true story about a man called Chris Gardner and his son Christopher Jr. I, as a grown man, had tears in my eyes when I finished watching this movie. Everything that I talked about, the law process, identifying a simple, successful system, make a habit to painfully follow the system, develop faith and patience. It's encapsulated in this movie. And if you understand English, the word happiness is spelled wrong. Happynes and NESS, and there is a meaning to that as well. Why is happiness spelled wrongly? And it is so powerful that it's a great movie to watch with your family, your children. And I watched this movie more than 20, 30 times because it will really give you the idea of your journey in NeX, of how it is going to be. You know, I want to give you listen to this video, watch this video. This is a man by the name of Jack, a total failure. He was fired from 23 jobs. Nobody wanted him. When KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, first opened in China, he applied for a job and he was rejected even for that. He tried everything and failed. And then he found a system, law process, identify a simple system. He looked at the other successful systems in the e-commerce world. So he identified the system. Then he created a habit to follow the system. Faith and patience. This is the year 1999 when Jack Ma did his first PBR, private business reception. He invited 17 of his friends and he's telling his friends, I have found a simple, successful system. An amazing video of 1999. Do watch it.
而今天，我想把大家请过来，跟大家共同探讨以后至少5年、10年我们要做的事情。那么阿里巴巴我们将做成怎么样？我想，从黄页的时候我就提过，黄页所要瞄准的对象不是国内战略，而是国际战略。我们所有的竞争对手不在于中国，而在于美国的硅谷。如果说第一，我们把阿里巴巴定位，就把它作为国际战略，我们不要把它定位是国内战略。第二个呢，我想就是我们要学会硅谷人的一种拼劲。如果说我们是早上8点钟下班，8点钟上班，5点钟下班，这个不是搞高科技啊，这个绝对不是我们阿里巴巴能成功。如果说我们有这种精神，反正我上班了，咱们8点钟上班，5点钟下班了 ，OK， 赶紧去其他地方。人家美国人强就强他的硬件，强就强他的系统建设，这方面确实比你糟。但是玩信息玩软的，中国人的脑袋绝不比你们差。我们在座的所有的人的脑袋绝不比你们差。这就是我们敢跟美国人斗的劲，我们绝对敢斗。如果我们是好的 team、好的团队，我们自己知道我们想做什么，我们想干些什么的时候，我相信我们是可以以一挡五，以一挡十。 我们能够赢政府机构，我们能够赢其他很多的民营企业、大的这种企业的是什么？凭的是我们的精神、我们的意识、我们的创新概念，以及我们这种拼劲才能去斗。否则的话，跟他们有什么区别呢？谁都知道，Internet 是个泡沫。我刚才讲的危机感就是 Internet 这个泡沫现在越来越，什么时候破？然后呢，把股票掉了，哎，eBay 股票会涨。那么有一天 eBay 股票涨了以后，可能阿里巴巴社区的股票涨，所以不要担心。我觉得 Internet 这个梦不会破，这个泡沫不会破。我们为后面的3、5年所付出的代价是非常惨重，只有这样的惨重的代价，才会赢得我们未来的取得的成功。那么目标是2002年，阿里巴巴上市。
Isn't that amazing? So think about this, my friends. If you look at that video, and let me just put this through. If you look at that video and think about what I just said in the law of process, 1999, complete failure. What is the first thing that he said to his friends? Yeah. He identified a system of success. And he says it. He says it that the Americans have created this amazing system called the internet of hardware and software. So our competition is not Chinese. Our competition, the system of success, they've created it. So let us create Alibaba using that system. So he identified a simple system that somebody has already created, a system of success of the internet systems. So that's number one. Then he said, secondly, number two, what did the Americans do? They're not like the Chinese who work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then go home. He said 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then go home. It's like a job. If you want success, it's not going to work for you. Look at what the Western world does. They work and it's painful. They have a painful habit of working long hours till they achieve success. And that's the second law of process. You got to follow a painful habit of following the system. And the third, you got to develop faith and patience. He said, you got to believe that Alibaba in the next 3 to 5 years will become an IPO. Right now, it's only us, 17 of us. All right? He doesn't even have his tie done properly. He's broke. Right now, it's only us. But in the next 3 to 5 years, we are going to make it. And he said it, that we will become an IPO in the next 3 to 5 years. Guess what? Alibaba became an IPO public, not in 3 to 5 years, but 15 years later, in 2014. Many times he wanted to quit. Many times he wanted to just give it all up. But he stayed in the game. He followed the system. He created a habit of following the system. He had the faith and he had the patience. Today, Jack Ma is the richest man in China. Just the football itself, Alibaba sponsored it. Just the Euro Cup that happened the other day. And it's one of the biggest companies in the whole of the world today. Anywhere in the world you look, you want to see a successful leader, you will see a law of process or a law of system behind that man or woman. And if you can apply this to your life, remember I started by saying, what is the formula of success? It's a balanced life of health, wealth, and wisdom. If you can apply the law of process, the law of systems into your health, wealth, and wisdom, then you don't need to chase success. Success will come behind you, and that is guaranteed. So well done for being on this call today, everybody. We have now covered the 3 laws of leadership. I'm looking forward to our next series where we will be covering the 4th law of leadership. Apply these laws in your life and mark my words, see your life transform. Have a fantastic evening. God bless you. Bye-bye.